Good evening everyone, I am Mr. Ish. I hope everyone's doing well. Let's look at this limit and solve it in different ways. Limit as x approaches 0, I have the numerator function e to the x minus e to the minus x divided by sine x. What is the end result? If you put 0 in places of x's, you know clearly you're looking at 0 or 0 indeterminate form. You'll have 1 minus 1, which is a 0, divided by sine of 0, which is a 0. This form shows up. Obviously, you can do this multiple ways. The most easy way, you do the lhopital's route. You can do it in multiple ways in itself. How would we do it? Take the derivative of the numerator expression, and then you do the derivative of the denominator expression, and what do you have? From here, you'll have e to the x, but from here, you'll have the derivative of this, which will become minus e to the minus x, which will hit with that and become plus e to the minus x divided by cosine x, in which case you're putting 0. When you do it, you have 1 plus 1, that's what you have, e to the 0 plus e to the 0 divided by cosine 0. You'll have here as a 2, and the answer is right. That's one way, but using this. Let's look here at a different way. How could we have approached this in a different way using the same technique? You could have done so if you looked at the numerator function, you focused on this. If I think of hyperbolic sine function, I know that to be e to the x minus e to the minus x over 2. I'm looking at something which looks like that, but it's absent this. If I were to look at this expression and just say e to the x minus e to the minus x, but I put a 2 before it, and now I bring in a hyperbolic sine function, it would be equivalent to that, because if I take this and I multiply by 2, these cancel out, I am left with the numerator expression, which is exactly what you see. That numerator expression is equal to 2 hyperbolic sine x. You still have 0 over 0 when you place an x value of 0, so you can do derivative of the numerator. You can push the 2 out, you'll have 2, and the derivative of hyperbolic sine will be hyperbolic cosine, divided by the derivative of this would be cosine x. When you put 0, what do you have? Hyperbolic cosine of 0 is equal to 1. I have 2 times 1. Cosine 0 is a 1, and you have a 2, and that's good. That's done. I've shown you 2 L'Hopital's routes. They're just algebraic manipulation and or your basic derivative techniques. Let's look here at yet another technique. The last technique I'll show you would require you to understand the application of this. You're looking here at Maclaurin's route. Maclaurin series for any function is equal to what? You have this. The sum from 0 to infinity, a power series comes into play. The nth order derivative always receiving the 0 value, x to the power of n divided by n factorial. You've seen the derivative of the exponential many times, and for the sine. We know this to be equal to what? If you run this through that, you know the derivative, the nth order derivatives for exponential is always exponential. When you put 0 in it, you always have 1. You'll have here x to the power of 0 divided by 0 factorial, then you'll have x to the 1 divided by 1 factorial, because the nth order derivative with the 0 for the exponential is equal to e to the 0 is always equal to 1. There's no need to even bring it in. It's always equal to 1. And then you know you'll have here x squared over 2 factorial, and then you'll have x cubed over 3 factorial, and then you'll have x to the 4 over 4 factorial, on and on. If you look at the sine x, I'll include a link where I've shown you these in terms of videos. There's no need to reduplicate efforts. When you bring in the nth order derivatives, it shuffles between, you have the sine, then you'll have the cosine, then you'll have the minus sine, then you'll have the minus cosine, then it'll go back to the sine. Every fourth order derivative, it goes back to the original. As you're putting in the values of zeros in these, you'll have here a 0, you'll have here a 1, you'll have a 0 over here, which will be a 0. Coming in here, you'll have a 0, which will be a minus 1. Here, you'll have a 0, which will be a... You'll see these types of coefficients come for this part right over here, the nth order and the 0. When you bring that into play, your series becomes x minus x cubed over 3 factorial plus x to the 5 over 5 factorial minus x to the 7 over 7 factorial, and you can see the pattern develop. Now, what about the exponential with the negative exponent, as you see here in the numerator? When you're looking at this, e to the minus x, you are looking here at various derivatives. Your original function is e to the minus x. When you bring in the 0, always here, the Maclaurin series brings in the 0, you have here a 1. When you look at the first order derivative, you have minus e to the minus x. When you bring in the 0, you have a minus 1. When you look at the second order derivative, the negatives negate. You'll have e to the minus x. When you bring in the 0, you'll have a 1. When you'll have the third order derivative, you'll have a minus e to the minus x. Bring in the 0, it's a minus 1. And lastly, the fourth order derivative, the negatives will negate. You'll have e to the minus x. With the application of 0, it'll become a positive 1. When you bring in the series for this, what do you have? Let's bring it out. you have e to the minus x. The series will be following that route that you know, but you're seeing these 1 minus 1 1 minus 1 1. It'll be exactly as this right here, except you'll have 1 minus 1 1 minus 1 as that way you see it. When you do it, you'll have over here x to the 0 over 0 factorial, because the 1 is meaningless over here. But then you'll have minus x to the 1 over 1 factorial, then you'll have x squared over 2 factorial, then you have minus x cubed over 3 factorial, then you'll have plus x to the 4 over 4 factorial, and then you'll obviously have minus, and it'll go on and on. So we've done that. We can bring these function representations, the series representations, into that limit, and what happens? I've pushed the limit over there. You know its limit as x approaches 0. Let's do these items. I'm looking here at this first, e to the x. When I do it, I bring it in. What do I have? I have here 1 plus x. We'll simplify these. Plus x squared over 2. Plus x cubed over 6. And I won't write anymore. Now let's bring in the minus e to the minus x. When I bring in e to the minus x, I'm looking over here. I'll have here 1 minus x. Then I'll have here plus x squared over 2. Then I'll have here a minus x cubed over a 6. I won't put in any more terms, but I'll erase this because I'm out of space. You know these would keep going on and on. Now let's look at the denominator. I have the sine x coming in because you know it's a limit as x approaches 0. E to the x minus e to the minus x divided by sine x. We'll bring in the sine x. I have x minus x cubed over 3 factorial, which we can just write as 6. Plus x to the 5 over 5 factorial, and I should just write here 120. I could have kept the factorials, but I did not. Then I have over here minus x to the 7 over 5040, and you would take it on and on. Now let's evaluate it. I'll erase this representation here on the bottom because you've seen it. When you open up the numerator by means of the parentheses, look what happened. 1 and this minus 1, they would cancel out. I have limit as x approaches 0. Every other term will cancel out. 1 and the minus 1 will cancel out. But I'll have x minus minus x will become a 2x. I'll have x squared over 2 minus x squared over 2. That'll cancel out, but every other term will not. You'll notice every other term cancels out and every other term doubles. When I look here at the x cubed over 6 minus minus will become plus. I'll have here a plus 2x cubed over 6. Now you're looking here in terms of odds. And when you do so, you can imagine what would the next be. It'll be 2x to the 5 over the 5 factorial term, which would have been 120. Then you could have imagined it would have been 2x to the 7 over 5040. This is if you had brought in more representations. The every other term would cancel, but every other term, the odd terms will add. The even terms will subtract and go away, cancel each other out. Now I have x minus x cubed over 6 plus x to the 5 over 120 minus x to the 7 over 5040. How can I do this? I'm erasing this momentarily. If I look at all of these terms here in the numerator and I were to isolate an x, what would happen? When I isolate the x from here, this becomes a 2. When I isolate the x from here, it becomes an x squared. Here it becomes a 4. Here it becomes a 6. I'll do the same over here. I'll isolate an x. When I isolate the x, this becomes a 1. This here becomes a square. This here becomes a 4. Nothing but manipulation here. And this becomes here is 6. Limit as x approaches 0. These cancel out. This becomes 0 because you could literally put 0. When you're evaluating polynomials and they have a domain minus to infinity and this value here is in the domain, you plug away your direct substitution technique of limits. This zeros out, this zeros out, that zeros, this zeros out. The only thing you're left with is a 2 over 1. That's what you're left with, and your end result here comes to be a 2, and it will be good using the Maclaurin series route. E to the x minus e to the minus x divided by sine x, limit as x approaches 0, your end result here is 2, and it brings us here to the end.